Okay, so I need to get this off my chest, and honestly, you're probably gonna judge me, but whatever. I'm Kinsley, 27, and I'm about to tell you how I basically ruined my marriage, but hear me out, because it's not entirely my fault. Let me take you back to how this whole mess started. I met William during my junior year of college. He was this super quiet computer science major who'd hang around our study group. Not exactly my type, at all, but he was always there, like this puppy dog following me around. I mean, he was a virgin at 22, which should tell you everything you need to know. But here's the thing. My ex had just dumped me for some sorority girl, and William was safe. Plus, he was already landing these crazy tech internships, so I figured why not? I still remember the night I took his virginity. He was so nervous he could barely look at me, but I knew exactly what I was doing. Looking back, that's probably when he got completely hooked. After that, he'd do literally anything for me. Buy me whatever I wanted, take me wherever I wanted to go. My friends thought I was crazy for dating him, but they shut up real quick when they saw the lifestyle he could provide. Fast forward 5 years, and here we are in this bougie apartment in Charlotte that he pays for. The walk-in closet is bigger than my first dorm room. William's pulling in serious money as some kind of software architect or whatever. Honestly, I zone out when he talks about work. He's always going on about coding and projects and blah blah blah. Meanwhile, I work part-time at this dental office, but between us, I call in sick twice a week because I can. It's not like I need the money. You should see how William acts when he pays for stuff. He tries to be all masculine about it, don't worry, babe, I got this. It's actually kind of pathetic because we both know he's not exactly alpha material. But I play along, stroke his ego a little, and boom, new Gucci bag. My friends can't believe how I've got him wrapped around my finger. They're all stuck with guys who make them split the bills. But here's where it gets complicated. William's gotten so boring, criminally boring. He's 32 but acts like he's 50. All he wants to do is stay home, play his video games, and talk about saving for a house in the suburbs. Gag me. Meanwhile, I'm still trying to live my best life. I want to go out, party with my girls, make memories while I'm still young, The age gap wasn't a big deal when we first got together, but now, it's like we're in completely different life stages. He's all about building our future and starting a family, while I'm still trying to figure out who I am. Plus, let's be real. He was never really my first choice. There was this other guy in college, Jake, who I was way more into, but he ended up moving to California. Then there was Chris from my sophomore year, or was it Kevin? I honestly can't remember, but the point is, William was kind of my backup plan. Don't get me wrong. William's not a bad guy, he's just William. The kind of guy who gets excited about retirement accounts and thinks a wild night is trying a new flavor of LaCroix. Meanwhile, I'm out living it up with my girls, spending his money on bottle service, and he doesn't even question it. He trusts me so much, it's almost annoying. Lately, though, things have been getting weird. I've been going out more and more, and he's starting to notice. He tries to plan these lame date nights, probably thinking it'll make me want to stay home more. Last week, he actually cooked this whole fancy dinner and bought me flowers. I felt kind of bad because I was already planning to meet up with my friends at this new rooftop bar. I mean, what was I supposed to do? Stay home and eat his mediocre pasta while he talks about crypto? The funny thing is, all our friends think we're this perfect couple. On social media, I post all these cute pictures of us, caption them with stuff like, my provider, or living my best life with my man. But between us, I'm so bored I could scream. William eats it up, though. Every time I post about him, he gets this goofy smile on his face. It's like he actually believes we're this dream couple. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I'm stuck. The lifestyle is amazing, don't get me wrong, but William, he's just not it anymore. And lately I've been thinking about getting back out there, Not officially or anything, but just to see what I might be missing. I mean, I'm only 27, am I really supposed to settle for watching him play League of Legends every weekend for the rest of my life? Oh, and get this, he actually suggested we start trying for a baby soon. Can you imagine? Me? A mom? With him? I nearly choked on my wine when he brought it up. I mean, I can barely keep my succulents alive, let alone deal with a whole baby. Plus, this body? I'm not ready to give up my hot girl era just yet. Not when there are so many options out there. Speaking of options, that's actually where this whole thing gets interesting. So about 2 months ago, I was out with my girls at this new cocktail bar downtown. William was working late again, debugging something or whatever, and my friend Sophia suggested we try this place called Velvet. The moment we walked in, I knew something was about to change. You see, while William's been at home getting more and more comfortable with his dad bod and his gaming headset, I've been working on myself. Like, I actually go to the gym now. Mostly for the Instagram pics. But still. And that night at Velvet, people were definitely noticing. This group of guys kept sending drinks to our table, and one of them? Total smoke show. Mason, that's his name, came over to make sure we got our drinks. He's a personal trainer, and let me tell you, it shows. The way he carried himself reminded me of everything William isn't. No awkward laughing, no stupid tech jokes, just pure confidence. We ended up talking all night, and I totally forgot to check any of William's texts. When I got home that night, William was still up, all worried and asking where I'd been. I just rolled my eyes and told him I lost track of time with the girls. He tried to lecture me about communication or whatever, but I just couldn't take him seriously. Like, who are you, my dad? The funny part is, he actually apologized to me the next day for being controlling. I can't with him sometimes. After that night, I started going out way more. I mean, why not? William's always working anyway, and it's his money I'm spending. I even rejoined my old gym, the one where Mason works. And yeah, maybe I specifically chose his training time slot, but can you blame me? The man looks like a Greek god, while William's over here getting excited about some new gaming chair. My friends have been super supportive too. Well, most of them. Sophia's been living for the drama, but my old college roommate Ashley keeps saying I should think about what I'm doing. Whatever. She married her high school sweetheart, and they live in some boring suburb. She doesn't get what it's like to feel trapped. The thing that really pushed me over the edge was when William tried to spice things up last week. He bought these matching Christmas pajamas in March and suggested we have a game night together. Just us. I literally couldn't stop laughing. Meanwhile, Mason's been sending me these super hot gym selfies, asking when I'm coming back for another training session. I did feel a tiny bit bad when William got me this expensive necklace for our anniversary. He was all proud of himself for remembering. Little does he know I've been using his credit card to buy new outfits for my gym sessions with Mason. But it's technically his money paying for the gym membership too. So what's a few cute sets from Lululemon? Things really started getting messy when I downloaded Tinder. I told myself it was just to look, just to see what's out there. But then the matches started rolling in, and oh my god, the attention was addictive. I forgot what it felt like to feel wanted by someone who isn't. Well, William, I got pretty sloppy with it too. I wouldn't even leave the room to text Mason or my Tinder matches. William would be sitting right there, playing his games with his headset on, completely oblivious to me sexting with literal strangers. One time, I was actually on a FaceTime with Mason while William was cooking dinner for us. The rush was insane. My friends all know what's going on by now. We have a whole group chat dedicated to my situation. That's what we're calling it. They help me keep my story straight when William asks questions. Ashley left the group chat, but honestly, good riddance. I don't need that negative energy. The other girls get it. They know I'm just living my life. Last week, though, things got a little too real. I was at happy hour with my work friends, and I guess I had one too many margaritas. I started showing everyone Mason's Instagram, comparing him to William. Someone recorded it and posted it on their story. William doesn't use Instagram much, thank God, but it was still a close call. Had to do damage control all weekend, acting extra sweet to him. Bought him some new game with his own credit card. He was so excited, it was kinda sad. But here's where everything started going downhill fast. Remember those training sessions with Mason? Yeah, they turned into a lot more than just workouts. The first time it happened was after a late-night session when everyone else had left the gym. One thing led to another and Well, let's just say I got a very different kind of workout. After that, it was like I couldn't stop. I started making up all these excuses to get out of the house. Girls' night, work events, dental conferences. William believed every single one. He'd even pack me little snacks for my conferences, like some kind of devoted housewife. Meanwhile, I was at Mason's apartment, or in his car, or sometimes even in the gym after hours. The crazy part? I started getting so comfortable with the whole situation that I barely tried to hide it anymore. I'd leave Mason's texts open on my phone while William sat right next to me. Once, I even answered a call from Mason while William and I were having dinner. I just walked away from the table like it was nothing. William just sat there, pushing his food around his plate, waiting for me to come back. My friends think I'm iconic for this whole thing. Well, except for Ashley. She blocked me on everything after I told her about Mason. But the rest of the girls? They live for the updates. We have this brunch spot where I tell them all the latest drama, and they're like, "Girl, you're really living your best life." The best part? William pays for these brunches. He thinks I'm maintaining important friendships. I mean, he's not wrong. The thing about Mason is, he makes me feel alive again. Like William's idea of excitement is finding a good deal on Amazon Prime Day. Mason? He once picked me up from my dental office in the middle of my shift just because he couldn't wait to see me. I called in sick and spent the rest of the day at his place. William texted me all worried about how I was feeling, offering to pick up soup on his way home from work. I left him on read while Mason and I ordered takeout using William's Uber Eats account. But I think William's starting to suspect something. Last week, he tried to surprise me at work with lunch, but I wasn't there, obviously. I told him I was doing an off-site cleaning, but I could tell he wasn't totally buying it. He's been giving me these sad puppy dog looks, trying to get me to stay home more, planning these pathetic date nights. Last night he actually suggested couples therapy. Can you imagine? Me sitting in some therapist's office, pretending I want to work on things with him? The breaking point was probably when Mason started showing up at places he knew I'd be with William. Like this one time at the grocery store, Mason accidentally ran into us in the produce section. William was being his usual awkward self, while Mason was just standing there looking like a whole snack. William didn't even notice how I could barely keep my eyes off Mason. Or maybe he did, because he got really quiet on the drive home. Then there was this disaster at the mall. I was there with William because he needed new work clothes. His company finally made him stop wearing hoodies to meetings, thank God. Anyway, I was texting Mason the whole time, making fun of everything William was trying on. But I accidentally sent one of the texts to our shared family group chat instead of my girls' group chat. William's sister saw it and went off on me, calling me all sorts of names. I had to delete the whole chat and tell William my phone was hacked. The craziest part? Even after all that drama, William still trusts me. Or at least he's trying to convince himself he does. He keeps saying things like, "We're in this together, and we can work through anything." Meanwhile, I've got Mason saved in my phone as dental supply and a secret Instagram account where I post thirst traps when I'm supposedly at work. Last night things got really intense. I was on my phone, texting Mason while William was doing the dishes, because of course he does the dishes. He's literally a walking doormat at this point. Anyway, I guess he saw something on my screen because he got really quiet and just stood there, staring at me with water dripping off his hands. For a second, I thought this was it. He was finally going to call me out. But you know what he did instead? He apologized for invading my privacy and went to play his stupid games. Then yesterday, everything completely blew up. I was lounging on the couch, scrolling through Tinder as usual, when William came home early from work. Like, who even does that? Apparently, he'd been sick to his stomach all day, worrying about our relationship. I didn't even try to hide my phone. Honestly, I was kind of relieved he was finally going to find out. The whole sneaking around thing was getting exhausting. He just stood there, staring at me with these big, wet eyes, holding his laptop bag like some kind of shield. "Are you on Tinder?" he asked, his voice all shaky. I rolled my eyes so hard I probably strained something. Like, obviously I was on Tinder. Did he think I was actually going to all those dental conferences? But then he did something I wasn't expecting. He started crying, not just a few tears. I'm talking full-on, ugly crying. Snot and everything. It was the most pathetic thing I've ever seen. He kept asking what he did wrong, how he could fix it, if it was because he wasn't man enough for me. I mean, the answer was obviously yes to that last one, but watching him fall apart like that was just, ugh. I can change, he kept saying, over and over like some broken record. I'll work out more, I'll dress better, I'll stop playing games, just please don't leave me. He actually got down on his knees in front of me. On his knees. I was so embarrassed for him, I couldn't even look directly at him. That's when I just snapped. I was like, William, I'd literally rather be with anyone else right now. The words just came out, but honestly, it felt so good to finally say it. I told him everything, about Mason, about how I never really loved him, about how he was just my backup plan in college after Jake and Chris, or Kevin, didn't work out. You want to know the really messed up part? Even after I told him all that, he still wanted to work things out. He was like, but you're the love of my life. You're the only woman I've ever been with. We can go to counseling, we can start over, I'll do anything. Like, sir, that's exactly the problem. I'm the only woman you've ever been with. How pathetic is that? I showed him pictures of Mason on Instagram, right there in the middle of his breakdown. I was like, look at him, then look at yourself. What did you honestly expect? William just sat there on the floor, scrolling through Mason's profile with tears running down his face. It was giving very much kicked puppy vibes. Then he started bringing up our history, like that was going to change anything. Remember how special our first time was? He asked. I almost laughed. Special? More like awkward and underwhelming. But he was holding on to that memory like it was some kind of sacred thing. Meanwhile, I was thinking about how Mason could probably bench press both of us. The best part? In the middle of all this drama, Mason actually texted me. William saw the notification pop up on my phone, dental supply with a bunch of eggplant emojis. Real subtle, I know. But instead of getting angry, William offered to help me end things with Mason so we could focus on our marriage. I swear, this man has zero self-respect. The week after that disaster was just weird. William took time off work. First time I've ever seen him do that without being literally on his deathbed. He was just there. All the time. Making me breakfast, buying me flowers, sending me these long, emotional texts about how we can rebuild our love. Meanwhile, I'm in the bathroom texting Mason about how clingy my husband is being. William started this whole relationship renovation thing. I'm not even kidding. He made a PowerPoint presentation about it. A literal PowerPoint. With charts about quality time and love languages and everything. He even included pictures of us from college. Like that would somehow make me forget that Mason exists and has abs you could grate cheese on. The saddest part? He started trying to work out. Bought all this home gym equipment with his bonus money that was supposed to be for my summer shopping spree, by the way. Watching him try to do push-ups in our living room was like watching a baby giraffe try to walk. Mason and I had a good laugh about that over drinks. Paid for with William's credit card, obviously. His family got involved too. His sister keeps calling me, leaving these long voicemails about how could you do this to him, and he deserves better. Like, duh? That's literally what I've been saying. He does deserve better, but for some reason, he doesn't want better, he just wants me. It's kind of creepy when you think about it. My friends are split on the whole thing. Half of them think I should stay with William for the financial security. And honestly, the man does have good health insurance, while the other half are living for the drama with Mason. Ashley tried to stage some kind of intervention, telling me I'm making the biggest mistake of my life. But what does she know? She's been with the same boring guy since she was 15. The thing is, William just won't accept that it's over. He keeps talking about our future, about having kids, about growing old together. Last night he actually started looking at couples therapy appointments. As if sitting in some office talking about our feelings is going to make me attracted to him again. He even suggested we recreate our first time to reignite the spark. I literally had to leave the room for that one. Mason thinks the whole thing is hilarious. He keeps saying, William must be down bad to keep trying after everything I've told him. And he's right. Who keeps chasing after someone who literally told them they'd rather be with anyone else? It's like William's living in some rom-com where love conquers all, but this is real life. In real life, when your hot personal trainer is sending you spicy pics, you don't stick around with your gaming-addicted husband just because he was your first. I did try to be nice about it in my own way. I told William he should download Tinder too. Maybe try to meet someone new. You know what he said? "But you're the only one I want." Gag me. This man really took his virginity story and made it his whole personality. Like, "Sorry, I deflowered you in college, but that doesn't mean you own me." His friends have been texting me too, trying to understand what went wrong, as if they didn't watch him turn into this boring, clingy mess over the years. One of them actually had the nerve to bring up how William supported me through college, paid off my credit card debt, and helped me get my job. Like, okay? That's what a husband is supposed to do. It's not my fault he decided to invest in a depreciated asset. So that brings us to now. And, honestly, things are actually working out pretty well for me. William's still here, still paying for everything, still desperately trying to win me back. Meanwhile, I'm living my best life. The best part? He knows about Mason now, so I don't even have to pretend I'm at dental conferences anymore. I just tell him I'm going to the gym, and he sits there like a sad puppy, probably hoping I'll come back a changed woman or whatever. Last week was actually kind of funny. William tried to come to the gym with me. Can you imagine? He walked in wearing these basketball shorts from college and some ancient Nike shoes, looking like someone's divorced dad trying to get back in the dating game. Mason was there, obviously, and the look they gave each other? Priceless. William lasted about 15 minutes before making some excuse about a work emergency and leaving. I stayed for my usual training session with Mason. The thing that's really getting to me lately is how everyone's acting like I'm the bad guy here. Like, am I just supposed to waste my 20s with someone who thinks a wild night is ordering takeout and watching Twitch streams? William keeps saying he'll change, but let's be real. He's a 32-year-old virgin until me tech nerd who probably couldn't find the club if Google Maps drew him a picture. Mason, on the other hand, well, let's just say he knows his way around more than just gym equipment. My mom called me yesterday all worried about my future security. She was like, "Kinsley, William is a good provider. He loves you. Don't throw that away for some gym fling." But she doesn't get it. None of them do. Like, yeah, William's stable and has a good job, but have you seen Mason's abs? Plus, it's not like William's going anywhere. He's still doing my laundry and paying my car insurance, even after everything. The funniest part of all this? William actually thinks there's still hope. Last night, he left this note on my pillow talking about how he'll wait for me to find my way back to him. Meanwhile, I was literally texting Mason about our weekend plans. William saw me laughing at my phone and got this little hopeful look on his face, like maybe I was laughing at his sad little note. I didn't have the heart to tell him I was actually laughing at Mason's jokes about his gym outfit. My friends keep asking if I feel bad about any of this, but honestly, the only thing I feel bad about is not doing it sooner. Like, why did I waste so many years pretending to be satisfied with Netflix and chill when I could have been living like this? Sure, maybe it's a little messed up that I'm still letting William pay for everything while I'm seeing Mason, but I look at it as compensation for all those nights I had to pretend to be interested in his gaming tournaments. William's latest thing is trying to rebuild trust by giving me full access to all his accounts, bank, credit cards, everything. He thinks being more financially transparent will somehow fix things. Like, babe, I already had access to all of that, and I was using it to fund my dates with Mason. But you know what? If he wants to keep playing provider while I'm out here living my best life, who am I to stop him? I know some people might read this and think I'm cold or whatever, but here's the thing. I'm just being honest. William's not a bad guy, he's just William. And yeah, maybe taking his virginity in college meant more to him than it did to me, but that's not my fault. He built this whole future in his head based on one drunk night in a dorm room, and now he can't let go of it. Meanwhile, I'm out here trying to actually live my life. So yeah, that's my story. Am I proud of how everything went down? Maybe not. But do I regret it? Absolutely not. William's still here, still hoping, still paying the bills. Mason's still looking like a whole snack at the gym. And me? I'm finally living the life I deserve, even if everyone else thinks I'm crazy for throwing away a good man. But let's be real. A good man who you're not attracted to is just a really reliable roommate. And I didn't sign up for that.